Ladies and gentlemen, MSI Day 5 has concluded, which also means that the play-ins are concluded and we finally have our results. If you want a spoiler-free experience, I don't know what you're doing in this video because here we're breaking down all of the things that happened on the day. Later on in the video, I will, we will talk about the draw, but probably I will make a more expansive video around the draw and break down the potential matchups coming into it in a separate one. But honestly, I think the first round maybe is too easy, so maybe, just maybe, it is a conversation that we save for the second matchups, because I think that the predictions are, very easy to make because the matchups are very one-sided. But nevertheless, FlyQuest versus PSG. I have to say, FlyQuest, they are for sure like broken down in some kind of way, man. I feel like there's 3 players on this team that didn't play the game at all, and then you had 2 players really trying to overcompensate, trying some weird angles to carry the game, and it just wasn't happening, man. It just wasn't happening. And I think that's the story of Whippo at this tournament, where I feel it seems as if he wants to do so much more than he can do and throws away his leads and sometimes throws away the game. Like every single advantage needs to be a game-ending one, and that is, on him. This is something that you need to be aware of. I think that Jensen didn't connect with his jungle support at all, died, burnt flash a lot, and was just disconnected to the game. A wrong read in terms of some of the champions that he should pick. I think Busio looked nervous through and through. Like Busio going at his first international tournament, it's like scouting his Korean solo queue account. You kind of wish that he would play more games, like on par with maybe Masu and the Whip. You gotta grind it out. You don't need to enjoy the experience because they did bootcamp in Korea ahead of the tournament because LCS ended so early. But maybe there's something like internal that just hasn't worked out. Like I think FlyQuest, I think Masu is a player to build on for sure. I wonder if this team is like okay, because it looked like, I'm just speculating from outside, it looked very grim. Speaking about the draft now, let's talk about the facts. I think before I move on to that, I guess I can hit on PSG. I think PSG played really well today. I think that PSG had very good awareness of their mid-game macro. I think that their lane swaps are atrocious. Their lane swaps are very, very bad. Like they are very, very bad at lane swaps. They don't know how to play them at all. And I will show you guys how FlyQuest could have punished them way harder than they did. This is just, plain and simple. Their lane swaps are really shit, PSG. Their mid game was way better than the enemies. How the way they control the map and the flow of the map with the jungle and support. They could have done, they did it way better than Fly. PSG to me is a team that, plain and simple, team fights well, and in the in-between don't accomplish much, but at least they get the farm and they take it easy and they draft towards that strength. So they have a very clear identity. FlyQuest completely lost themselves, and I feel like after the TL series, maybe it just seems like the foundation, the core of this team is like died. We shall see. It's all speculation, just based on outside. Talking about the draft, I thought when Ari is out, Talia is out, Oriana is out, I thought Azir is going to get first picked. I called it on the cold stream too. I thought Azir is going to get first picked. Jensen, I thought he was hurt in LCS playoffs by Azir being disabled. But they go for first pick Varus to follow up with the Renata. I think it's fine to pick it into the North. I think here in this spot, they lock in Senna Nautilus, which is fine, but they can also invite Tamkench here on 3 by not picking support. And in the end, they get Azir on 3. And I thought it was quite disrespectful that they don't even, they don't even put themselves in a situation where they ban mid laners here. As an Azir on 3, you can ban mid laners. In the end, FlyQuest, they find Hwei. Hwei is such a strange champion to me because every time it looks like a solid Hwei spot, it just turns out not to be. I feel like every time there's a tanky champion at all on the enemy team that can just like absorb your abilities, I think that this champion just loses so much steam. And the reason, like additionally, like the enemy already has heavy incentives to buy mercs, and the enemy being bulkier, I think that Hui is really happy when he's like solo AP versus no tanks. And this Nautilus is gonna farm, right? So he's gonna have a lot of gold in his pocket, right? So there's that. We continue. The final pick here is Rumble, and based off of that alone, you know, FlyQuest decide to do lane swap. The main issue here, right, is as the game progresses, it's going to be very tough to break the Senna and the Azir because of the range. So it's very important that FlyQuest get momentum in the game, and of course, try to finish the game in the 24 to the 26 window, right? Meaning that fourth Drake needs to be very impactful, you know. Second item fights should be very good for them, you know, and all that jazz, you know. So we continue. We jump into the game. We had a lane swap action going. I'll show you guys the detail of this lane swap. So the reason FlyQuest are lane swapping is because Senna doesn't hit turrets well, and additionally, like Rumble is very strong early and Urgot is strong early. And if you create initiative through the lane swap, you can find advantages. Here, the main reason, right, is that PSG fuck up really hard because the moment you have no split map and Maokai is starting in his own bot side jungle, the enemy team, if Urgot starts on lane, can of course do a defensive maneuver. Here in this spot, right, Urgot is helping with a little leash, and he's leashing for the Maokai. Maokai right now, based off of this position, you see that Viego can defend a crash, but FlyQuest is giga slow pushing. They're gonna stack 4 waves, if I remember correctly. They're giga slow pushing, very deep last hits, while Urgot is already getting experience. Okay? So in this spot here, the idea, because Viego is here and Maokai is here, and they're gonna clear into here, and the opposite, looking for the dive is unrealistic because both junglers kind of end up in this quadrant during the time span when the wave crashes. But I really like the FlyQuest here. They are slow pushing the wave hard enough that if Viego wants to defend the dive, he is of course wasting a lot of time because he clears fast. If he takes 3 camps and stays on top side, of course, you know, he's going to bleed because he's going to be quite late to the situation. And in this spot here, Urgot is just farming free XP, Viego's clearing into bottom side, full vision for Urgot, so he knows that if Viego's crossing, and Urgot's getting a lot of XP. On the flip side, you have Maokai going all the way into top side. You know, they're going all the way in, and they cut through, and he's timing it, syncing it with the wave. It's really good. Kerb was writing in the chat that Bwipo tanking, so they push both 5 head. Did he just walk up to the wave and eat shit? That's a really good move. Very good move. So here, very good syncing of the wave, right? And the main issue here, right, is that, as mentioned before, Viego is in no position to dive bot. Urgot has farmed so much experience already, he's level 3. Azir is 1.5, right? It's already a massive advantage. And right now they're pushing for the dive. And the solution that PSG propose here is the fact that Woody is TPing. Woody is TPing, but the issue with this, of course, is the fact that Woody wants to farm, Rumble wants to farm, and they're sharing all of this experience. And Urgot got solo experience, and they already forced him to, you know, make the defensive maneuver. Urgot keeps his TP, and he gets to slow push the wave out on bot because he's isolated against Senna. So already FlyQuest is in a very good position. Urgot is going to be super far ahead of the Rumble if they play it correctly. So now he's bot, he's chilling, taking it easy, he has TP. FlyQuest begin to push more waves, Rumble bases and matches bot because the bot wave is bouncing. And you know, they are just chilling, they are completely chilling. Good that Jensen does a loose flash. Let's just see the follow-up here. Here Urgot crashes the wave on bot, he still has TP, Varos catches the wave on top. This is natural. They are fine in their matchups now. Like right now, being matched, they are very happy. So Urgot just bases and opens on the lane where Rumble is. Very natural, right? So Rumble is on bot, Urgot is on bot, and Varos Renata lane well against Senna and Nautilus, so they're very happy to be in the matchup. We fast forward now. And now it's match. They're super happy, chilling, you know, all good in the hood. And now, you know, in my mind, in this position, like as Urgot pushes the wave in and then the wave bounces into Urgot, I don't feel like Rumble should ever be able to crash a wave. Because once again, I want to highlight the XP advantage. Like this guy is reaching fucking level 6 anytime soon. This one is barely reaching level 5 and he's slow pushing in. So it means that Urgot has more XP in the wave to gain, right? So in my mind here, I feel like there needs to be more to be done. Obviously, we can't see based on the camera. They're not showing. But I don't know if Whipple is just like over-respecting the Viego that just did Drake or some shit like this. I think at that point, you invite those fucking fights with your flash and your rock and roll, you know? It's like, make the Viego burn time, make the Viego commit into here. Don't let him get away with things like this for free, because Junjia really loves to farm. He doesn't want to back up his homies at all. Like, he just fucking farms whenever he can, and he just doesn't give a fuck about his teammates. So yeah, Rumble. Eventually, like, Rumble gets to crash the wave. This is like 3 against 4. This is slow pushing out now for Urgot. I wonder if Whipple could push him more and like find some way of all-inning, but maybe Rumble is just max range Eing. It's so hard to judge because I can't see it, you know? But I'm just thinking, it's like, if you have a fucking level 6 advantage, don't you just go past the wave, hide in the bush, force out the ward, like look to pressure, you know? But obviously Viego is on bottom side, but I just think that maybe you can make Viego invest time then into going bot, you know? We jump forward. Rumble eventually bases. Urgot slow pushes out. Rumble goes on bot wave 2. Keeps the TP. Whipple has TP here too. And now Senna's on mid wave. And they're putting Senna on the side where Rumble is. Here, I was very surprised of the maneuver here of the Varus and the Renata. They just go straight down into bot, expecting to be able to dive here. It's a very bad play because they can't get information on Senna Viego. They're never going to be able to dive on the stacking wave on bot, so it makes no sense to match here. Plain and simple, they should just open on top side once again, because Urgot has TP and he's slow pushing the wave out. He can drop a ward for himself and take it easy. You're hoping that you can dive the enemy bot here, but you're then also hoping that Viego and Senna int, right? So I thought this was a really, really bad move from Fly. They should just open on the lane on top. Or if your plan is to do this, right, at least TP top on this wave. I don't know what's happening here. Like, Whipple is just eating resources here. He pushed one wave and then he's going to TP top. Like, this lane assignment is just very strange to me. I don't know why they are not going on the Nautilus lane who has no TP, pushing him all the way, playing there with Maokai, threatening dive, and you know, playing the game. Maybe not so easy because Nautilus is tanky, but it's the same thing on bot, you know? Same thing on bot. And in a mismatch, like I just don't know what the idea was of going into bottom side here, because Varus just lost 3 waves of CS, straight up. Right? He just lost so much farm here. 2 waves. Okay. We jump forward, you know, no punish on the Rumble. This was a solid hold from Jensen. Taking it easy, you know, doesn't panic, doesn't have information, but takes it easy. Could have gotten dangerous, you know. Maybe Maple could have angled the ult to push him towards the Viego. But we jump forward. I want to jump to a point in time that is very important. We jump. Here in this moment, right? FlyQuest is soft contesting, and then Hui is walking on the Rumble lane. Hui has no TP, so they are like cooking up a play where the Fly wants to make sure that PSG don't freely take this objective, right? They are soft contesting. Because right now the enemy doesn't have information on Hui. They have a ward behind, and Hui is opening bot, so they are looking for the play, right? So this is like a solid play. They TP behind him, they give up the situation after catching top. They're leveraging the fact that the enemy team doesn't know about this ward, and additionally they don't know where Hui is. Basically, FlyQuest is fake pressuring around the Herald area and pretending that Hui is coming to them. And in their mind, they're like, oh, we should need to wait for Rumble to push. And then if someone shows on bot, we can play. And then with that swing, they TP, and then the enemy has to start Herald very, very late. And that's cool, you know, that's a cool cross map. You're pushing on the same wave, you manage to catch a wave 4v5, and you delay the enemy Herald. Good macro, right? Now the extension, I just want to rewatch here. I don't understand how, of course, the Maokai and the Renata, I don't know what they are doing for the rest of this sequence here. So it's like basically you trade side, Maokai is doing his blue, Renata is masturbating on mid-wave, not basing. It's like, why is Renata not basing here? It's so damn basic. There's no reason to contest this mid-wave, it really doesn't matter. You need to base here to sync up with the rest of your teammates. It's very important, because the play is going to continue. Either you are going to play on the wave that Hui is walking out on, and you're going to play for this tower, or your tempo is too slow and you need to defend bottom side, this quadrant, right? Because the way it works is that you check the wave that is being played on. Bwipo's gonna take the wave deep, the same way this Azir is taking that wave, right? It's pretty much the same wave. So they're playing on the same wave, and that leaves them with options. But if Renata is not basing and Maokai is not basing in sync with their solo laners, there's no counterplay. So I'm gonna show you guys how this plays out, because this is a very, very nutritious macro point that you can learn from if you want to like add to that to your team. It's like Renata needed the base ages ago. She just needed to base. Senna needed the base. And in this moment, they base. Maokai, Renata, they are like Maokai is into top side, taking his Gromp, they are pushing, and then they are not pushing anymore. And Azir is just walking on the neutral wave because he has vision from before. Like this ping, and now Maokai is basing giga late. Okay? Like Maokai is not a part of the play. They cannot defend bot. Renata's walking out on the wrong side because they can't contest. Azir is stealing this wave while the enemy team is opening on bot side. They get spotted on vision, like it's really, really bad. This is like legit. Moments like these are so crucial for the game. Because just watch the extension here. If Azir feels good enough to walk on this wave, at minimum, Maokai and Renata need to be bot to make sure that Urgot can catch. You make a defensive maneuver, right? But they are not on time for anything. Maokai bases late as fuck because he wants to do Gromp, and then Busio is walking into this side. When Jensen can't push this one, this is really, really bad. Renata could have based much earlier, Maokai could have based much earlier, and they could have been already in this space if they wanted to, right? Together with the Hui slow pushing out because Azir needed the base. And the same thing for Senna and Nautilus, and they should know this. Or at minimum, right? If they needed to farm or there's some gold or whatever, they need to be into bottom side and they need to make the defensive play. But look at them instead. I just let it play out. So Hui clears the pink. Hui is scared. He doesn't know where Viego is still, doesn't know where Viego is, doesn't know at all. Bwipo gets cut off, PSG, because they spot Renata topside. Keep in mind, they spotted Renata topside on that pink that I showed. It means that PSG, wow, super to topside, we can face check everything. And now we see Renata on midwave again, while Maokai is here. And this entire time they're getting outnumbered. Varus is hovering and Renata is on midwave. This Renata is straight up sleeping, right? Do you guys understand? Is it clear what I'm trying to explain here? Like you guys can see the concepts playing out real time that FlyQuest are so oblivious to in this moment. So Azir steals the top wave and then they cross into bottom side. Urgot can't walk on the turret because he has no support, no jungle. Support showed on top ping, base late, Maokai base late. They didn't even do defensive maneuver into bottom side. Azir steals top wave, nothing. No counterplay, nothing, and Azir is just piss chilling, you know? And like this, PSG was slowly gaining their lead, you know? They were just first with jungle and support into spaces. Renata's perm is showing on midwave. They're not gaining anything from being on the midwave. It's like never contest unless you're fighting. Or unless you're needed to actually save your AD. If your AD can clear waves for free, stay in bushes, take it clear. But like being on the midwave, like this, is completely pointless. If the enemy shows, you need to be in position to take, because they can react so much easier for you just showing. Imagine you're trapping in a bush here somewhere, maybe you protect your ping, you can play the game. But if you just stand on the midwave, like just masturbating, you don't accomplish anything. Right? Always as a support in jungle, always be in fog unless you're actively contesting, you know? Because you make it so much easier for the enemy to just face check space. Here, of course, Woody should just queue into the wall, get himself out. All is good in the hood, and then I think there's no play. Pretty solid ult here from Azi. I think if Maokai just ults like Nautilus just hooks into the wall and doesn't get engaged on here, I think it's pretty straightforward. I think it's cool here that Whippo decided to like walk forward to get the lethal through the fucking rumble ult. So that was pretty based. There it is. Now, this is once again like highlighting my point. We don't see how this fight starts, but they catch Azi, which is like a solid play. They cut through mid, right? They open through mid, find the play. Hui is pushing top side. Like, this is good, right? From position, this looks good. Maple is showing on bot wave. They are cutting through. They have tempo advantage. Senna and Nautilus are late to the space, right? This looks like a very, very good play. They're cutting off. Azi is making a massive mistake. Really good job, you know? Good job. The extension, though, is just too wild. Hui is still hitting, right? Hui is still hitting, and it looks like FlyQuest want to end the game in this moment. Hui is hitting top turret. They've won so much, and they get over-eager to end the game on this play, and Whippo pushes forward, uses the fucking Renata. It's like, this line is a heavy do not cross line, bro. This is a death zone. Enemy has T1 alive, like this is a fucking death zone. Like, you need to be very certain that you can pull this off. And they felt comfortable because of Rumble, but it just seemed like they wanted to end the game off of that Rumble catch. And instead ended their own game. Because Hui gained so much here. Like, this could have been such a big moment if they take Rumble, they walk away. But it is what it is. Can you do a review of the meta tomorrow before next stage? My meta video predicted everything, so you can just check that. There's nothing that is wrong about the meta prediction video. Like there's nothing that I missed. My meta prediction video is just spot on. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. It's just that the patches were way too weak for everything to remain the same. Like I'm not like proud of that. It's just that nothing happened in the patches that is crazy. And we knew everything is going to be like lane swap oriented, right? That's why I made that big lane swap video too. All right. Now the nail in the coffin. Big rumble ult. PSG grouping on the mid turret, throwing the ult, seeing what happens. Whippo finds a catch, but FlyQuest cannot cross through this turret. I wonder if there's a moment here where FlyQuest just needs to push the forward. Like if they fight forward here and they see the same thing that Whippo sees, maybe there's room, but Whippo is going for like a hero play and the FlyQuest players are backing off, you know? It's tough to see, right? But I could see a world where these guys like fight back and throw their spells. Like this Azi turret is still spawning. Like maybe there's a world where committing to display can be better, but obviously it does also a high chance that if they commit to display that they just get straight up ace and the game is just fucking over even faster, right? So either way, like it's, I guess, just a bad situation across the board. It's also like Whippo doesn't need to flash in. He could just take the kill and they could walk away and it could be massive. Kind of similar situation from before. Like Whippo takes the kill, walks away, doesn't flash in. Brilliant. We can recover the game, we can base, we can take it easy. But once again, like Whippo is looking to fucking end the game here. And now the homies are crossing through the turret. And Junji is having a field day. That's it for this game, pretty much. Like I think this game, I think we've highlighted all the big moments. I think that it was too hard for the enemy to actually contest. I guess this is a big one, right? It's like it's funny, like chokes works both ways always. It's like whoever's trying to cross here is going to most likely die. I think Ozzy got a fat rumble ult, and I could see a world where he flashes and double EQs in and just all ends here to try to drop as much damage as possible. I think that could definitely happen. That could be like a crazy play here where he does fucking 10,000 damage. But this goes both ways, right? It's like now as they slowly begin to win the fight, the choke goes the other way, Ozzy goes way too late, and now he flashes like basically this Hui ult is doing crazy damage too. Like with that Hui ult, like all the passes are proccing, boom, 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 boom. I think just Ozzy kind of griefed the situation, and PSG, you know, tried to run through a choke. It was a problematic choke for both teams, so just very weird fight spot, really weird fight spot for both teams, honestly. Like, no one should want to cross that red fucking bush against these champs. But yeah, as I mentioned, I got the impression from Bwipo that he wanted to end the game, win the game off of every play, and just fucking really ran too far with every play that happened. It was the same with the Bwipo, like Zac advantage. It was the same with the advantages in this game, and I was disappointed. Maybe he can't squeeze more. Maybe like Rumble E was playing too safe and just farming with E. I don't know, maybe he was afraid of Viego, I'm not so sure, but I'm just thinking maybe there's more to be done there. I think also at this point, right, after, if PSG is ahead at this point in the game, their draft is too OP, I think, in terms of like the distance they cover and how easy it is for them to actually block the only engage, which is Maokai ult. Because Renata value here is non-existent. It's only against Viego, right? But Viego doesn't need to do anything. Only Azir and Senna are gonna hit, poke, and the basically Varus and Hui need to land some of their spells in the trade-offs, which could happen, right? It's not like Varus and Hui have bad range, you know, they can poke back too. But at this point, not gonna happen. All right, game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. This was way quicker, but another lane swap situation. The flag was, PSG fuck up. So this is the variant where it's a full-on commitment. Full-on commitment. And the big mistake here is that Ozzy refuses to TP. So looking at draft right, it's like they have, like Ozzy got Rumble again. I don't know why. They switched up to Ozzy first pick. And Varus Nico, I don't mind at all. I think probably I would prefer to pick Ashe there, especially when Kalista is showing. Maybe you think that you are denying Nico from Woody. Maybe that's the thought process, but I think that you're happy either way. They decide to lane swap against this team. I like the Comet adaptation. The Comet adaptation is cool because you're not going to trade autos against these guys, you know? You're not going to trade autos against double Halo Blade, right? Aurelion still gets locked in. Maple played it in LCS the moment it got reworked, so he has experience playing this champ. Maple was very impressive, I think, in the play-ins, but I don't think it's going to do any damage as the tournament proceeds. Zinzao, of course, I think is probably the strongest jungler on the patch. After Vi, of course, I think Vi is just plain and simple great. There's going to be champions that can outperform Zinzao in spots. I'm just saying it's OP in the sense that you can play it almost every game. Unironically, this was a very good Kha'Zix game. You know, the Damwon inspiration. Like if Kha'Zix was picked here, and maybe you pick a top laner to match, I can't really think about what. If you have Kha'Zix here against what was showing, which was, you know, in this game, this would have been a beautiful Kha'Zix game, I think. This would have been like a fantastic Kha'Zix game. If anything, right? It's a good Kha'Zix game. I don't think they pick Ashe then though. Well, they pick Rumble on 5. So he saw 4 champions. I guess Rumble was flex, right? Was Rumble flex? Let me just see the order. Maybe what you're saying is right. I thought that they pick Rumble on 5. Let's just double check. Maybe Hobie in the chat is correct. Oh yeah, it was Ashe on 5. Fair play. Ashe on 5. The Nautilus ban is just delusional, no? Like this needs to be Ashe Rumble, no? But either way, they open up Ashe Rumble. Ashe was 5 pick, so it makes sense. But I think even against what is showing, I still think Kha'Zix would be good. Because if Kha'Zix makes them pick a champion that is good against Kha'Zix and makes their like lane weaker, I think that's a worth trade-off. This could have been a Kha'Zix game. Some time on inspiration. All right, let's continue. So we have Jax for inspired. So I just don't think Jax jungle is real, if I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I'm saying down one, sorry, but I'm thinking of Canyon. Fucking hell. It's weird. I will never get used to Canyon not being on the team. Alright, so this is a swap where Xin Zhao starts in enemy jungle. So this is like a full commitment, right? No defense, full commitment, first wave, dive, right? It's very different when jungle is being taken aggressively, the same way Xin Zhao is taking jungle aggressively. So this is one of those swaps when there's no defense because there's 4 on the opposite side of the map, and it is what it is. Here eventually, Varus and Nico are going to push. They're gonna hit. And basically what's gonna happen is that FlyQuest will decide to base. And they're gonna let the wave bounce, and they're gonna let Whipple play on a bouncing wave. And what you get out of this is very similar to the Lucian Nami variant, is that they're going to get a TP advantage on Renekton. Basically, Renekton right now lets the wave bounce, and now Nico and of course Varus are basing, which means that in this moment, Rumble needs to think about TPing top. He needs to think about TPing top. Because right now, Nico and Varus are not hitting the turret. And he could think to himself, okay, I need a grace window. I need a grace window because obviously they can cancel their base and they can kill me. So he's going to wait like 10 seconds, 15 seconds. And after that, he's going to have to TP. But here, Azi, so basically, with Nico, Varus, basing, they're basing. Azi begins to prepare. Ash and Varus are hitting the wave. They're hitting the wave. And then now, at some point, you know, fucking Rumble, you need to fucking TP top, bro. TP top. The wave is bouncing, bro. You're missing so much experience. TP top, bro. TP top. Because the thing is, fighting here is so unbelievably unrealistic. Enemy AD is coming out with item. You know they based. Nico's coming out with item. Viego can cross, and also Renekton can TP to this turret. This is not a fight that happens ever. The only way this is reasonable is if you can deny the enemy from crossing. And that's only reasonable if you see Varus and Nico hitting the top turret. And I don't know if FlyQuest would do like some wizard shit where Nico and fucking Varus are just hiding in this fucking bush here to just bait the Rumble TP for a solid fucking minute. I don't think anyone is psychopath to do that enough. I think that you probably like lose out more. It's like you lose out on so more because you don't hit the turret and you're doing nothing with your bot lane, you know? It's just not gonna happen. So, Rumble not TPing top is completely troll. Renekton bounces the wave. Azi is still jerking off here. Masu and Busio here, I think they're a little bit too scared. Bro, you have fucking item advantage. Fucking slam your balls here, bro. If the enemy fights Renekton TP behind them, I think that you win the game. Just use your summoners. Put your body in there, man. Like, fucking throw your body in there, man. Show some guts, you know? Now the wave is bouncing. Rumble TP's on it. And this is a very nice spot for Renekton, right? So, like, all things considered, Ashe and Kalista based very late. They have... They base very late. There's a big tempo swing for Varus and Nico. Whippo gets to lane with the wave slow pushing into him with a slight... Like, XP is relatively even, I guess, because we see Azi's XP and Whippo's XP, and he's going to catch this wave, right? And he has TP. So this is like a good outcome for FlyQuest. Good outcome. But good outcome was not enough. Whippo begins to thin out the wave. Viego's passing into top side. And here Whippo has TP advantage, who's going to be able to TP back when necessary. But Rumble is a very strong laner, so you should be able to figure it out, you know? But it's better than what it could have been, because Rumble is very winning against Renekton. So here, big item advantage for Varus. I don't know, like, I guess the gold distribution on the platings, which is better for Varus. I'm not so sure. Like, I don't know how Betty couldn't get a Dirk here. He has a pink ward, because he based with more CS, 27 CS against 20. Oh yeah, never mind. I forgot. Varo started longsword. That's the difference maker. He has no Doran's blade. Sorry, guys. See, Whippo just playing, laning, chilling. Fly quest. Walk away. Use a heal. And this is the trade-off for the top objective. Bobo TP's back and has Mercs. Here, Jensen does a crucial mistake. Because warding Drake is only relevant if you want to dive top. If you can't dive top, warding Drake is completely irrelevant. Viego cannot waste time being topside. He needs to cross into bottom side. And warding Drake is only relevant in the case where you dive top, because you need to know where Xin Zhao is. So the punish to enemy doing Drake is to, of course, fight Rumble. But here instead, I think the play is like Viego can maybe take 1 grub, 2 grub, cross through mid, pressure gank maybe on Maple, you have Azir, retake the space, contest. I think that's doable. I think that maybe there's a play there, you know? If your bot lane is too weak to like step up or do anything, then you have to also consider that they can just get dove, you know, if you don't play like this. Because Jensen now goes for ward and he has to use his ult. He drops the ward anyway and uses his ult, loses HP, loses like initiative on the wave. And then Viego here, in his mind, he realizes, bro, I am on the wrong side of the map. I need to make something fucking happen. Like, my bot lane can't lane, they can't breathe, and they're getting Drake for free, and Spired is taking this, and now Rumble is also aware of this, of course. Rumble is chilling, he says, oh, I need to pull the wave. Renekton is fucking proxying, Viego is sniffing my asshole. And Junjia is saying, they have information on me, they see me, I'm gonna pop the Drake now, and now I'm gonna threaten dive on bottom side. The bottom side dive is not happening, like Varus and Nico just dry based, so they're just basing too, otherwise like he goes into tri-bush here and threatens dive. And then here Azir is just pulling the wave, taking it easy, right? Because there's no dive. There's no dive. But all of the things that I mentioned before, the information on Drake, not crossing, not defending, it's like Blackwood's already paid a massive price for these Void Grubs. These Void Grubs are fucking whatever, you know? Because Viego could be matched bot with level 5 and they can contest 3v3 because that's what the game should be about, right? But Junjia was there first, he lost HP, he lost heal, and then they abandoned them completely. And in this moment, Viego walked through a crab to spot, to walk on the grubs, right? But here, Viego is accelerated, he gets grubs and he gets golems, XP-wise he's looking pretty solid, and then they're thinking, yo, we need to fucking dive this game. But Azir plays it very well, he has Nimbus Cloak, Whippo doesn't come into contact, very bad flash hit from the Whip. Maybe if Whip connects with the stun, they can one-shot him, everything changes. But here they don't. And he Nimbus Cloak flashes away. And he walks away with the W. And this of course is a disaster on many accounts. Inspired doesn't land the ult. And here comes Maple. And honestly, it might sound grim, but this game is over. This game is over. This game is literally over. GG. Aurelion Soul, baby. So sad. I feel bad for the Whip, man. He's gonna beat himself up for this, man. Can this buy a flash stun him first? We can check. Let's have a look. Maybe you're right. I think W makes more sense first, yeah. I don't think it's a question of the reach, but you don't want to like fucking channel. You don't want to channel anything mid-fight, right? But I think if they get any of the suns off here, which should be possible with flashes, I think it's a kill. But I think like aesthetically from before, I just think that the decision making is just not good. I just see the moment here where Viego crosses into top side right and plays grubs. Like Busio loses all of his HP here. Viego's like lane ganking top. Viego's lane ganking top. And Viego completes his clear. I think Viego should just base here and go bottom side, man. Like look at the vision that the enemy has top. Look at the vision that the enemy has top. So much vision. The crab as well. Zinzao dropped wards. Now Viego is spotted and Junji has freedom. I think probably as well, maybe better that Viego and like not Viego, sorry, Nico and Varos hold their base already now. They should have based earlier. Let's see if there's anything else significant in the game. Like it's just kind of sad to watch the rest of it, man. It was brutal. It's like complete mental collapse. Woody was just hitting arrows on cooldown on Masu, and PSG just played a pretty clean game as a continuation. The gold gap was a little bit too big, so even though they got some catches here and there, like the continuation was just murder. We salute FlyQuest and from the cockpit too. Flight home. I hope it's quick and pleasant. I hope they're alright. Okay. Fnatic versus GAM. Fnatic versus GAM. Fnatic versus GAM. Game number 1. I thought it's strange. It seems like, I don't know, like GAM won a game where they had a sense of like, you know, oh, these are like our main champs, we're playing them, and then they just kind of gave up on them completely. Like obviously it's like, GAM is heavy underdog here, giving Zinzao, I think, on blue side 4-5 is crazy talk, you know? Like, it's just crazy talk. K'Sante just a lock in to get a tank going. They have Kalista Ashe lane with Orianna and Talia. They are very happy with this. I think that blue side is a very good cohesive draft because Orianna gives them scaling, K'Sante gives them scaling. Ashe and Kalista dominate early game. They have engaged tools. They can play around space. They can fetch bushes. They can do well on side. I think this is just a very good and cohesive draft. I think it's very solid. Here, this Maokai 5 pick is the worst thing ever. It's just terrible. Like you're picking Maokai against K'Sante and Kalista. What's the value that you're gonna get from picking such a terrible lane matchup? You're practically picking a champ that has no spells. You can never W, your E sucks, your Q doesn't matter if you can't W. Like your Varos is laning without a brother here. And eventually you need to face the music because you can't avoid fucking Kalista Ashe forever, right? And when that music fucking hits your ears, you realize, damn, it hits as hard as a Drake fucking a Drake diss that Kendrick has made. So we continue. Terrible Maokai on 5. Like pick a Nico, pick Ashe away on 3, do something, man. Like pick a Nico into the Ashe, pick like Nico should have been the angle, you know, or pick Nautilus, something to swing it, you know. But that lane is unplayable anyways. Yeah, but Maokai doesn't provide anything here. That's what I talked about, Alex Ghost. What does Maokai actually offer this game? Absolutely fucking nothing, man. Pick Super on 3, pick either Nautilus or fucking... pick Nautilus or Nico and... Or just fucking remove Ashe if you can't fucking play anything, you know? So we have a swap situation. We have one of those moments where there is a cross-map complete 4-man, no defense situation. They crash the waves. They hit. Blah, 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 blah. Zinza's already on the opposite side of the jungle. They hit. Maokai bases. The wave is gone. Maokai crosses into bottom side, not sure why, level 2. Let's just let this play out. Emo eating, making sure he's eating some stones. No TP top still, and now they spot Maokai. So they spot Maokai here, so now Oscarini can TP for free, right? They're just waiting for info. The moment he shows, of course, Oscarini can TP top. Sorry, the lack of food is starting to hit me. I didn't eat much of a breakfast. There's gonna be a barbecue later. Oscarini, very late on the TP top, I think. Kiaya now matching with Mr. Maokai, goes for it. And, the key thing is, like, they take a little bit of a gamble here, right? Because if Zinza is closer, they can fight here, I think. They can fight on the Mao, and maybe they can cross and dive. Because the enemy is not in, like, some particularly good position to go. I think there is a little window here to maybe fucking rock and roll. But in this moment, Zinzao is just not in position to punish, so Fnatic kite back. I think probably Oscarini could have TP'd back earlier. We continue. 3 platings against 3 platings, Oscarini in TP, Kiaya TP. Kiaya has a lot more experience, got to catch a way bigger wave, and shared a lot of XP with Varus. I think that was a cool detail here, that Varus and Urgot was the pairing that was left behind, and Maokai stopped sharing XP after level 2. This makes Urgot gain so much more XP. So it's a very nice little detail to a 4 commitment swap, where after level 2, the Maokai stops stealing XP. So the XP distribution is kind of nice. It's kind of nice. Because the other homies, of course, is sharing S3. And they, of course, shared with only Urgot Varus. But it's hard to TP on the way because you don't know exactly where Maokai is. Because Maokai, if he traps here and you TP, you can just give kills for free that we've seen many times. So, interesting take. Interesting little mind game there. But I think on the re-entry, you need to be very, like, sharp with the assumed timing. Because if Zinzao is, like, close or does, like, a camps in different order, there's a window there where you can die. But Malco is trying to sync himself to the Lee Sin, right, that was crossing. I want to just double check here which camps Zinzao actually took, because someone mentioned it in the chat. So it was Raptors, Golems, Red. This is on the bounce back, let me see. Oh, he does Raptors twice. Oh, never mind. The Wolves, the Golems, the Blue, the Gromp. So he starts his own chickens. And he took his own Wolves. Okay, that's the one. So he took his own Wolves. 37 CS on the clear back, kills his respawn too. I like the greediness here of what he does. He's so fucking far ahead. Like the fact that he gets his respawn is very nice. Tunnel completed, pink ward. Now the name of the game for Fnatic is basically what they did. Like they are stacking waves on bot. The enemy has a complete piss matchup, and Orianna can pressure mid in my opinion. Zinzao is stronger than River because of the XP advantage. So all they do is take a control over River, stack waves on bot, threat and dive. That's all. Very cookie cutter. Very similar to, the biggest issue. Like people think of that the biggest issue that Lilia draft is the fact that we have Lilia into Milio. No, the biggest issue is that we can't break the waves on bot. We can't win 2v2 mid. So the enemy can just push us in mid because we had Corki against Azir, and then the enemy had Draven Milio against Aphelios Lulu. So they can stack wave on bot, and then the enemy crosses into bot side river, and then they fuck us bot because they can stack wave into dive. The jungle can't be there. Jungle needs to predict and be under the turret, like he can't play the game. And then here, Now Razork, I think the Fnatic kind of misplayed this dive. I don't know why Razork just doesn't fucking go. Like if Razork just straight up goes right, then June can start the turret. He starts tanking the turret. If Maokai W's on him, he flashes out with him. and they just one-shot easy love here. I don't know what Razork is doing, bro. Like, Razork, I think it's just... I think Razork is just straight up trolling. No, it's 2 back right now? No, it's not. Like, you just go, like... Like, Noah did so much damage. This was Razork's mistake. But the rest of the game is basically that, right? They're stacking waves on bot, diving them. It's because the enemy just can't. They can't 3v3 them, they can't fight them. There's nothing to be done. A humanoid, it's kind of hinting. Doesn't need to elevate risk here, of course. This is all on him. And that is all she wrote. I think that Jun hit some good arrows. Snacked on the Urgot here on the top side. There we have it, boom. Arrow lands, Noah kills. TP situation. If you're like here, we were talking about this being dumb on stream. Fnatic is very winning, they push ball for free. They already like backed off from the play. There's no top wave. Like right now, GAM is kind of fucked. I thought if Noah's a psychopath, he actually like plays this to invite a mistake from the enemy, because obviously blue side is much stronger if the fight happens, because he has cleanse. He's afraid of Talia rocks, but like if you're a psycho here, there's some psycho ADs that are gonna fight this based on the fact that they have cleanse. And then when the enemy is like invited to fight, Oriana, Zinzao, and the TP is gonna fall here from Oscarinin on the ping. Like I think there's some action to be had here. But I respect the play where they accept that, oh, Kisan's gonna push for free. We have further access to mid. They're all out of fucking position. That's a very fair assessment. That's a good assessment. Obviously, we're gonna look for the psycho angles, because there is a psycho angle to be had here, where you leverage your cleanse to invite the enemy to fight into you, and you slam your balls. Like you can do some ball slamming here, you know. But you need to be very sharp with your Q and your cleanse, because Talia rocks are coming and Maokai spells are coming, right? But you need to kite away from him and play the game, right? Because he has no flash. Jackie Love would fight this, and 1 out of 10 times it would just be a net negative, and in the other cases some fireworks are dropping here. But okay, I think there's not too many more interesting moments in this game. Try to remember if there's something that stood out. I think that Fnatic just got the objectives. GAM really struggle to actually group up. I think that on some cases Humanoid was a little bit sloppy. This was a dive from Fnatic that they tried to do, where K'Sante just pulls the Urgot over the wall, but I think Urgot probably put Tabi is too tanky to dive in the first place. Just a little bit too much action at the same time. Razork is crossing the do not cross line, turned around and went back. Is there anything to point out? I think we're good there on this game. We are good there on this game. So, this one. This was the banger of the day, let's call it. The banger of the day. Draft-wise, honestly, I think that GAM, basically, they need to be able to one-shot like Nami Lucian in the map, in the fight opener. But if they don't, I think it's rather hard, because they can't target like Zinzao, Ornn, and Ahri so easily. It depends on their play, right? But it's not an easy thing to burn through. Forgive me, I just need to go to the bathroom quick, so a little break. I'll just put ads while I do it. All right. So in this particular one, I want to jump a little bit further forward. We can just check the opening of the game, I guess. I thought it was a pretty interesting move here. Gigabyte Marines, they just slammed a little like deep invade action, and it seems like Fnatic wasn't ready for this at all. And Nocturne just starts on Raptors, and then Gigabyte Marines just get the push. They just fight, they whip trade all the way, like they drop HP, they fight rock and roll just to win the push, and Nocturne is breathing down their neck, man. Like this was a very, very insane play, by the way. Like this is something I can see like Billy doing, you know? Like this is a crazy like situation. Like they keep trading, and then they crash. They crash the second wave, get level 2. Levi pulls the wave to get the crash, and then they go for the dive on the Ignite Lucian. Both Jack and Dom made a good point here that Lucian should probably play barrier this game, but the flash auto, bro, like the flash auto into dive into the 1-for-1 trade, bro. Maybe Nautilus could even queue out here, man, and survive. But even the 1-for-1 trade is fucking solid here, man. It's fucking great, man. June stays under the turret. I don't know why the fuck Levi hates the tower. He just fucking beats the shit out of it. Like, this is a very classic play, you know? Like, late invade, catch the enemy off guard, take the Raptors, cross into top, 2 fucking waves into dive, fight like motherfuckers to trade HP and Ignite and sums. That's super cool. I like that. That was a good play from GAM, genuinely. It's a good early game play. I think in terms of draft, like picking the Ornn makes sense, right? Enemy has fucking Nocturne, Nautilus, Rumble. You have to fucking pick Ornn. Because they banned Udyr and K'Sante. And to be perfectly honest, right, that's a miserable matchup for Ornn. So Oscarine, like, did a very good job this game of staying relevant. Like, it was crucial. We have the 2v2 kill on bottom side, which was huge for, of course, Fnatic. But the main challenge later is, can they survive the Nocturne Orianna combo, right? In such a game, I think that Noah probably should make sure that he has LDR, and this is one of those extreme games where you can even consider fucking buying Zika's Armor and Hourglass on Lucian. Because surviving that burst is going to mean everything, and flashing that burst is very hard, dashing it is even more difficult, maybe even impossible, because you need to time your flash to the Orianna ult, and the Orianna ult timing always shifts, and just because it shifts, it means that the window for you to react is very narrow, because obviously you are nearsighted because you have fucking Nocturne ult on you, right? So flashing it is also quite difficult. Usually, like Zhonya's Hourglass and Stopwatch is the best way to do it, because the biggest part of the resurgence of Nocturne Orianna, especially at the beginning of the season when it was taking a lot of bans and Nocturne had really good itemization, it is because Stopwatch was removed practically from the AD carry pool. So Ari TP's top here, they look for a play, and he's going to take over the lane here. Orianna gets to push for free. She can grab a plating for free, but Ari just takes over the lane top, which is no biggie, right? No biggie, he has Merc, so it's no problem. Let's jump forward to the biggest crucial moments, because you know this game was looking very dicey for Fnatic, in my opinion. This to me is just simple greed. I guess I have to show the moment when they lose the mid turrets, because here Fnatic, they commit all the way topside, and Zinza is also hitting Herald. I imagine a world where Lucian just stays behind mid and calls the next wave. They can actually save their mid turret. Okay? But Kiaya gets dove, and Lucian Nami can commit all the way. Ari has no TP, but they pay a very big price for this. They pay a big price for this in the sense that enemy gets Drake, you get Herald, that's a fair trade, but enemy gets mid turret, and mid turret is crucial. Because keep in mind, you're playing against Nocturne, Nautilus, Orianna, bro. Having no safety on the mid turret means you can't contest waves. If you can't contest waves, Lucian Nami, bro, a lot of the value that you have from these champs is definitely like falling off a cliff. So in the spot, Nocturne just ults and they just snap engage. I think that they are begging for this, like Zhao, Zinzao was nowhere to be found. I wonder if Zinzao is basing on a ward. Basically, Zinzao is basing on a ward. Zinzao is legit just basing on a ward, and they are taking vision like this. This is very bad for Fnatic. We jump forward. I want to just showcase some of the later sequences to highlight the biggest mistakes of Gigabyte Marines. The Gigabyte Marines, they get a good fight in mid. We have this moment as well. Orianna just fucking... Cubano just refusing to ult. These solo bowlers. Window shopping. Humanoid just eating the pain. Humanoid saving ult for late game. Oh, his ult actually came off cooldown now. Then I have a little bit. Then I have a little bit more understanding for it. I thought he had ult when I saw this live, but his ult came off cooldown as the fucking thing is popping. It is a bit unlucky. This one is unlucky. Oh shit. Pretty certain he's looking to ult it, right? He wants to ult it. And he wants to save flash. I think that's reasonable. Like, it's such a narrow window here. Very narrow window. 1 for 1. Oscarini stands tall though. And Oscarini does a very nice collapse here. I like this a lot. Gigabyte Marines here with the TP angle also from Ari. You know, the key thing here is Emo doesn't have TP. You know, they're posturing into bottom side when they don't have info on enemy team at all. I think at this moment you need to just clear the top crab, accept that Rumble pushed in all the way, and then base on Rumble, and then restructure your map. You know, there's nothing to gain here because you're not diving Ornn, pressuring Ornn, so you're just putting yourself in danger, especially with RTP on. So okay, let's jump into the bangers of bangers. Here it is. So here it starts. Herald is used. Zinzao is drifting with it, and here's the combination. You know, Lucian has no flash from before. This is not a good Rumble ult, for sure not, right? He still dies, and Razok also dies. You gotta be really, really fucking careful with this combo. But the same way goes the other way around. Like, if you don't have the combo ready, you are much weaker. So the timing of this kills 1 minute 20 before Dragon. Some ults are gonna come off cooldown, some not, but it's gonna be narrow. The big mistake that GAM does in the follow-up is the fact that, you know, here they're just walking up without Nocturne ult on CD. They have no Nocturne ult, they face check into space, and the reason they do so is because Ahri is showing on bot wave. But Fnatic is already trapping, and sometimes position is all that matters. Ahri might limp into this fight, but enemy having no Nocturne ult, no Rumble ult, already is a pretty damn solid. It's hard to see, but looks like Nocturne ult is up. Yeah, it's very fucking hard to see. Like, look, like I thought it was up, and look, now it's ticking down. You know, it looks like now it's ticking down. You see, 8, 7, 6. Like, it's impossible to see if it's up or not. Because real time, I also thought, what the fuck are they doing? Why don't they Nocturne ult? And I was like, oh, there's a timer now. Like, the overlay is definitely like a little bit confusing sometimes. All right, let's jump forward. Basically, how I would want red side to play this game is that I would want Nocturne or Orianna to push deep, and then I want them to take control of river and never be on mid wave. And for some reason, you will notice a trend is that Gigabyte Marines are all just sitting in this spot right here. Like, their heat map, bro. A dog that is deaf, blind, and has no sense of smell would be able to track them. Like a tracking dog that is just in retirement. Could come out of retirement and just know that Gigabyte Marines was in this area, bro. Like, these guys just spent all of their time here. The heat map was here, you know, like they would just perma here for no reason, man. No reason. Like, let me show you. This is cool. This is cool. Easy love doesn't need to be on the wave, right? It's like, imagine now Nautilus is here. Zeri catches the wave here. If the enemy pushes forward, undermine them through here. Much better. It's not too crazy that Nautilus is next to him because he can block the ult, but I guess the examples later are way more extreme. So maybe I should just show those, because I think this was good play from Fnatic. Good ult from Oscarinin. Oscarinin had a very good game today. Legit, Oscarinin was probably my fucking MVP here, man. So over those kills, Nocturne dead. Fnatic should just... I like the turn here, but they don't need to turn with everybody. Like, the play is over. I don't think they need to commit with Nami, with Lucian. Nami, Lucian, just fucking keep hitting. Not too crazy that they have her, but also here, keep hitting. Not sure what the fuck Noah was doing here. I don't know why he's dashing on Rumble. Because the same thing is true here. You can just wait. You can also just hit Rumble if he comes forward and then dash out or sideways or something. Noah just 369'd. Huh? What? Is that the charm bug? How can she slap? How can he slap? It is a charm bug, right? So basically, I remember this bug with charm. If someone is charmed and someone chains CCs, right? Someone chains CCs. So there's like a little bit of a crossover, let's say 0.5 chain CC. Then this person can like flash in this CC. I have to say though, still, I don't think it's like, Noah doesn't play this good. Regardless of the bug or not. In the past, you could flash in this bug. But luckily, you know, they who take it also giveth. Here the key thing, right? It's like always when you contest Drake, just what you want to do when you are face checking and the enemy, you don't have any information, is that you want to fucking blue trinket. When you blue trinket, you spot, oh, 3 people are hitting Drake, which means there's gonna be two in this position. And then you slowly take the situation in, you know, you breathe the situation in. So blue trinket is very, very crucial. It's a very, very fat combo, big combo. But this is of course on Fnatic for like just overgrouping. Like everyone plays in the same pocket to hit this guy. They just got over eager, right? This is the pocket you want to hit in, and everyone goes into that pocket. Not good. Let's fast forward to the conversion of Nash. Here, the main thing that's confusing to me, right? You guys remember the walls? These are the lines of poke and pressure that you want to apply. Like here in this spot, Orianna should stand tall here. Maybe someone stands here ready to hex flash, right? Like for example, Elio. And then Easy Love is chilling in the area. You just need to react to the fight. Nocturne can be wherever, you know. And then it's like if the enemy crosses here, like you need to punish these fuckers that are face shaking your space. But for some reason, I don't know, GAM just give everything, man. They give up everything. Like where are they going, bro? I don't know where they are going. They're going, they spotted on a pink, and Fnatic can just take everything for free. And if you're not willing to poke them or hit them when they're fucking entering there, there's no way you're winning a fight ever, by the way. Plain and simple. Like, they need to fucking pay a price for face shaking this, regardless of how tanky the Zinzao and Ornn is. Because if the argument is, well, hitting or Zinzao or Ornn doesn't matter, they are too tanky, well, then you're never winning a fight in the first place, right? So, I thought this was very poor play here from GAM Marines. I think this is a fight where Humanoid just kind of misplays by ulting over the wall and putting himself in danger. I fast forward too much, sorry guys. Hey, Humanoid can just take it easy, man. He just gets CC chained and he just gets killed. I think that he just plays it pretty bad. Additionally, I think that probably Noah can use spells before ulting. You know, just rotate your full ability combo and then, you know, react based on what's coming your way. I'm assuming he wanted to create distance because he's afraid of the Nocturne combo, which is fine too. But just like a rule of thumb, if you can throw your spells as illusion, then you throw your spells as illusion. I think here, plain and simple, the most important thing for Fnatic is let Zinzao and Ornn carry and take your time. Zinzao and Ornn can carry, they can create a lot of space, they can put people in lethal ranges. If the enemy uses key abilities, key damage abilities on Ornn and Zinzao, this is your moment to snap. Because right now, Ornn and Zinzao, they are monster carrying, there's no need to do anything, right? Ari is just kind of throwing away her position and she gets one shot in the combo. So always, if the enemy team has like key abilities to break you, and they cannot break your front line without using those key abilities, let these boys carry. Like Ornn Zinzao is one of the most OP front lines in the game, of course. So just let them fight in the space and take your time. So they have Nash. They get a fight. They get Soul Point 2. What spell takes 1k HP from Noah there? Was it Ori QW? I think it was Zeri Auto, no? Zeri Q? Because she had IE. Like, look. Like, he like missteps. That's Zeri Auto, I think. But maybe it's combined with QW. Maybe it's like both. Because I see QW on the floor too. Okay, so the game is looking tough. Genuinely, the game is looking not super easy for blue side. But the issue is, GAM is just making it so easy to play around the fights because they'll be showing on the mid-wave constantly. They're just showing on the mid-wave, showing on the mid-wave. Let me fast forward to the moments where they do. Good on ult. Generally, like Oscarine played a really good Ornn game. Like these type of games are a lot more subtle, but like low-key, he carried. Like he fucking carried. This was a very good Ornn game from him. He has a horrible matchup, stayed sturdy, got the levels, got the fucking ults in, was really good. It's like, they never at any point did GAM Marines like control side with Nocturne Orianna. They never pushed all the way, set up side waves, made sure that Orianna farmed well. First crucial mistake. Second mistake, now for the rest of the game, they're just all fucking 5 on the mid wave. Not creative with space at all, not creative from angles. Not recognizing that Zeri can connect, having full vision in river, still being on the mid wave. I don't know what they are so scared for, you know. The thing is, it's like you can pressure the Lucian army from not dashing so much easier if you're in Fog of War, you deny vision, you contest the space, but they're just 5 men hugging. Like the decision making for Fnatic is so easy from this point of view. Very, very easy. Here I personally didn't like too much how Fnatic like engaged, because it's the same thing as always. It's like Zinza is in river, you don't need to look for this fight. They think that they caught Nocturne, but I don't think it's necessary to engage like this. It's like Drake is fucking alive, you have full position advantage. They are trying to fight because they think that if they overcommit to Drake, that the enemy team will just go to Nash. So you can like soft kill it, you know, you can soft kill it. You can hit it with maybe Zinza, pull it out, and you can stay in river and turn from a more defensive posture. Because yeah, this is just like carry mode for Zeri, right? Like first Zeri misplayed quite heavily, I think, throughout. It's like a better Zeri play will carry this, right? She is just getting chain CC'd here, she gets knocked up, and then she flashes, doesn't space well, you know, like misses, goes over the wall. I think that if Easy Love played this a little bit more efficient, things could have been better. And then on this play as well, if Zinzao just clips the fucking Zeri here with W, then boom. Like I think it's a solid call to start fighting, right? It's a very solid call to start fighting with Orianna, like basically, ideally, you start fighting with Ornn, Zinza, Ahri, and Lucian Nami don't contribute at all. They just wait. That's perfectly fine sometimes because of how strong your top side is at this point, you know? Noah wins that? I don't think he does. I'm trying to think. Like, the thing is, like, Lucian doesn't have a lot of, like, attack speed. Maybe he just Qs and kills, maybe. Maybe he just Qs and kills. Could be. Like, keep in mind, he has to walk like this to juke the auto, right? Like, if he kites any other direction, he doesn't, he eats this auto. I think if he eats that auto, I think he dies. Then he also has E. Maybe there's something there. Once again, okay, see how Gigabyte Marines end up being just like on the same spot? Here, Mark Brazza should just on the hourglass earlier, play simple. Here, I think this is the fight that Zeri also could carry. Like if she just keeps committing to hitting the Ornn and pushes aggressively, I think there's more to be done here. Like Zeri's monster fed. I think a better Zeri player actually carries here. Like I think like just how Gigabyte Marine's position, like they are the comp that needs to find ways to break the enemy, right? They need to kill Lucian, they need to kill Ahri or Nami before the fight even starts, and then they need a long fight with Zeri. But they are just all hugging Zeri, it's not Sack. Like this is like the easiest Ornn horn to call ever, right? Ooh. And then Zeri, the key thing here for Zeri is like you can see the how much it matters that you space properly. Like here, he needs to push it forward. He needs to push it forward. What the fuck is he scared of? You know, play the game, bro. Play the game, push it forward. Miss auto, miss auto, miss auto, miss auto. Hit. You know, these numbers are gonna, these little HP things matter a lot. You know, in terms of like position, how much more you can squeeze. I think this was definitely a moment where, you know, elite AD would do a lot more. Let's go the game-winning one. I think that the same thing applies, right? The same thing applies. It's like Ari, Zenzao, Ornn get to play the game. Lucian, not so much, you know. It's like I think that the E-Flash was optimistic from Marek Brazzolini. The build is criminal, yeah. I was surprised. I thought he's gonna go LDR third, man. Like a lot of armor was coming in. It was Chain Vest, Tabi, armor Nautilus, armor up a level. Like the way he plays, I just think, yeah, it's not the greatest. Here, I don't know what the hell Noah's doing. This was a massive misclick. Like, Flash is good, right? He flashes out, but then what's happening here? What was that? Whoa. I think eventually Fnatic realized that, yeah, Ornn and Zinzao are just so fucking strong. They are the carries this game. All they need to do is just fucking put their bolts on the table. I think also like Ocean Soul is pretty like useless for red sides because they're all quite squishy, right? Like a Zinzao and the Ornn would use Ocean Soul so much better. But okay. Some quick hits on what the bracket is. Some quick hits. Forgive me, I feel I'm pretty tired. I have the Sunday blues. Sunday blues in the veins. Genji versus Fnatic. I think stylistically, I think that Genji is a better draw than Bilibili for Fnatic. I think that currently Oscarinian is performing well. I think that Fnatic's biggest strength is like their early game. I think they have a pretty good early game. I worry that though in the macro department, Genji is just going to massacre them. I think that Genji is just a lot more efficient when it comes to how they farm side and how they're going to be able to play team fights. And I think that Fnatic, as the game progresses, are a little bit too inconsistent for my taste for them to even beat Genji. Genji is a team that is insanely disciplined, and Genji really breaks apart teams that are just worse than them. I think that the main thing that is weak for Genji in the context of being a top 4 team at this tournament and being potentially a favorite is, of course, the bot lane. So I think like matchup wise, I think that you have the right pairings. I think if they played against Bilibili Fnatic, I think that they would have been a lot worse off because Shun, Elk On are basically Jackie Love, Mako, Tian on steroids. So we saw what Jackie Love did to Fnatic. Shun, Elk, and On did similar things to Jackie Love. Obviously, I'm not saying League of Legends like UFC math here, but it does speak to the level that Elkenon is coming into this and how dangerous they are in the 3v3. FaZe and Lehens are not the focal points, but Lehens and June, they are similar in spirit, but June has played fantastically this tournament, so I think that June will do super well. Humanoid versus Chovy, it's a tough task for any mid laner, but Chovy should be favored. Keen versus Oscarinin, I think Keen is a stronger player. I think that Keen is probably the strongest Rumble at this tournament, which I think is a massive edge, has a deadly TF2, plays a good Kesanta as well. I think that, Keen is just a more complete player. But Oscarinin has been on the glow up. I think that's like the biggest change up here for Fnatic is that Oscarinin is actually in form. Oscarinin is playing like games of his life. Like even today, I think his own game was splendid. I think the key thing for me is Fnatic can maybe find ways to get ahead in the early game. That would be like the angle, because they do a good job of like connecting with jungle and support and choosing 3v3s. I think this is a big strength of theirs. And the main question is like Genji and lane swaps, like how sharp are they going to be? Because Fnatic does have some experience now. But Genji is also like a roster with coaches that are insanely experienced. They have Mata, they have Coach Kim, they have players that are very, very experienced too. Like Keen is one of the old guards at this point. He's one of the more elder players in the LCK that is still very active and competing at the highest level. So I doubt, I think Genji is going to, really, really immaculately manage that. So Genji, heavy favorite here. I think Genji is going to dry 3-0 Fnatic. I don't think that Fnatic is going to breach enough. I really, really don't think they're going to breach enough. I think that 3-0 Genji, that's my prediction. Team Liquid versus Top Esports. I think that Team Liquid as a team, very cohesive. They are a team that is led well, coached well. I think that APA is coming into this meta with an edge over Cream in terms of champions that they're willing to play. Like APA, Talia, APA, Aurelion Sol. This is cool. They still need to be very mindful of the Ahri, because I think that Humanoid LeBlanc is very special to attack, of course, Cream Ahri. I don't think not every player can pull that off. And I think that APA is not going to be able to do the same thing. And they need to be mindful of that Ahri, because Cream's best champions are Hwei, Ahri, Tristana, Akali. I think Cream is a better player than APA. I think that Impact is a very, very smart player, and I think that Impact is basically 369 light, I would say. But I think in games and in series where 369 can breeze easy, I think that his impact is most felt in team fights. Very, very like 369's impact is felt the most in team fights. And if 369 can breeze to that point, I think he's very happy. Bot lane wise, I think that Top Esports bot lane is going to massacre them the same way that Noah massacred them, and also the same way, like Noah got massacred, June got massacred. Inside on Esports raiding with 1,045 people. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are doing well. Is Monte Cristo not streaming tonight? There's no bangers today? No Monte Cristo bangers? Thank you very much, Edward, for the raids. I assumed that you were on... were you on the show? Oh, shout out to the Summoning Inside folk. We are breaking down basically my predictions right now, and then I'm going to call it a day. Maybe listen to the Kendrick diss track one more time. So what I was talking about is Top Esports bot lane. I think they're going to massacre the enemy bot lane. The question is, are we going to have a situation where top esports throw enough. I don't think so against Team Liquid, because I think, you know, my tier list was largely based off of like Fnatic being inconsistent, but I do think that they are a step above both Team Liquid and Fly. But I think Team Liquid is better than Fly, and that was my tier list. But I put PSG below them, so PSG is definitely like stepping up in my mind, based off of what I saw in regards to PSG. So, top esports, it's like 3-1. Maybe I can give TO 3-1, but still I think it's 3-0 straight up. Like it's hard for me to imagine that top esports don't lose a game unless they're like 10k gold behind. I think 5k gold behind, I think they still can like win genuinely. And I think also top esports warm on the stage, so forth. I think they are, you know, warm. I think straight up this is gonna be 3-0, 3-0. G2 versus T1. G2 versus T1. T1, what did they show us in the bracket stage? Is, you know, I made a meta prediction video, and I like the meta is pretty much exactly what I said. I'm not saying that to say that I'm cool. I'm saying it plain and simple because barely anything has changed. T1 showcased that they have a very high level understanding of course, lane swaps. So that's super cool. You know, they showed very high level of understanding. They bounced the waves in unison to their defenses. It was very crispy. They did little crispy things in my mind. So that's super cool. I think T1 on that front is super fucking ready to play against G2. It's funny how G2 played the strategy so much and IP played it. We saw it show up in some of the LPL playoff games, besides an IP2. But now every elite team at this tournament is ready for it. They all have been practicing it. They all have ran it through many times. And I don't think that G2 have some kind of special edge here. T1, I think plain and simple, I think just lane-wise, team fight-wise, I'm so scared. I don't see G2 being able to break the flow of what Korea wants to achieve and what Zeus wants to achieve enough for them to fall apart. The main question is if G2 could take an angle where maybe they remove Kisante from the pool and maybe they attack them in the lane swap department, because they should commit completely to the lane swap identity. But T1, I think that they are ready for the lane swap. I think it's just too obvious of an angle, and it was very obvious that they are ready for the lane swaps because they executed on them pretty damn well, I think, in my opinion. Can Caps do anything to really break the game? The thing is, Caps carries most games. Caps carries most games through side lane play and then team fighting super well. And in my mind, you're preaching to the choir. You know, it's like, Fake have been doing that against tougher opposition. It's just that the difficulty for Caps is, in terms of the context of their opposition, I don't think Caps could have done more to make me think more highly of them coming into this MSI. Because Caps had a really great split. Now it's just a question, does it measure up against better opposition? Because I worry about G2's early game when it comes to their 3v3ing and also their 2v2 precision. Because all in all, the LEC level has been quite poor. But Fnatic's been doing well. Individually, they've been doing great. G2, can they also do individually great? The difference is here they are playing up against T1 in their first fucking round. And right now in my heart and in my mind, the dream draw for G2 was of course to play against top esports. T1, Genji, Bilibili are the three big favorites to win. And this tournament can pan out either way. And it's just a question of percentages that I feel in terms of the differences between these teams. I think Bilibili is my team to win it, but it's a very small difference. Very small difference. Very small. I think T1 3-0. Bilibili versus PSG. I think PSG, you know, their mid-game, how they farm, solid. The early game, quite uninteresting. Very bad at lane swiping, PSG. Additionally, PSG, they just draft team fighting, right? I don't think there's an angle against Bilibili. Sincerely, I think there's no angle against Bilibili. I think we will have 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. I think that these matchups are very lopsided. And then if we play the question of if we rank the odds of taking a game based off of matchups, I think it's like bro, this is number 4 for sure. I think T1, like the main angle here is if T1 like fall on themselves draft wise, but the thing is the meta is so good for them. The meta is good. It's like you play Nico, Ashe, Rumble support, Kisante top, and you know TL against top esports. I just don't think TL are good enough individually to take a game, man. Like obviously I am predicting 3-0 everywhere, right? 3-0 everywhere, right? 3-0 everywhere. But now we are ranking the odds of where an upset can happen. And I just think TL is not individually strong enough. Maybe Fnatic is the game that they can like steal one. But then again, Genji is the most disciplined team. It's like Fnatic is playing against the hardest team to steal one game from. Bro, this is so fucking hard. It has to be like, it has to be G2 pulling off some cheesy strats, right? Is that the only angle of stealing a game? Am I just EU biased here, guys? EU bias. G2 stealing one game because of some fucking Draven dive or some... They just have like so much fucking cheese in their back pocket, man. I don't know, bro. But yeah, I think we're gonna have a slaughterfest. We're gonna have 3-0 all the way. But keep in mind, when it comes to these tournaments, right? Fnatic, Top Esports, PSG, T1, they're all very warm. We don't know what's been going on with G2 behind the scenes. We don't know what's been happening with Bilibili behind the scenes. We don't know what's fucking happening with fucking Team Liquid behind the scenes. We don't know. And that's the beauty of competition, right? That's the beauty of competition. If Yuma can get LB or Ari game, they can just perma-dive bot. Thing is, you need to get through Chovy and Canyon to do that. And it's not like fucking Noah is better than Pays. It's like Pays is worse than Viper. He's worse than Gumayushi. But after that, he is better than everyone else. It's like Jackie Love, Gumayushi, and of course Elk. I rate them higher than Pays. But Pays is still pretty fucking good. I like... But no one nearly beat Jackie Love. Is it Pays first international? No. He played MSI and Worlds last year. yeah, I think that's it. Exciting tournament coming ahead, man. Exciting tournament coming ahead, man. You know, the loser bracket, the first one, it's like we have Fnatic versus TL. That's pretty hype. Bro, like, what happened to my pen? Why did it get all thick? Fnatic versus TL. Fnatic versus TL, PSG versus G2. Like someone in the chat said, oh, it's a dream draw for LPL. It is. But even the nightmare draw is like really whatever, right? It's only like top esports versus G2. That's like, ooh, maybe G2 can cause an upset win here, right? But yeah.